Alright guys, I need to feed here, otherwise I'm going insane. You've been doing this for a good few nights. You're getting a feel for it. You're learning what kind of predator you are and what kinds of blood you crave. You're so caught up in yesterday's problems and in this cloak and dagger because you're a part of it now. That the hunt feels like almost automatic and casual tonight. A fragment of you surrenders control. Just minutes after, you find your victim, coax them and drink from them. You find you have forgotten their face and what they were dressed like. It only hits you once you look yourself in the eye in your car's rearview mirror. This was wrong. You can't let this become the norm. You hurt somebody, a human being. You are a monster. You need to stay mindful of this. You're a monster, but unless you let yourself off the hook, you can hold on to your humanity and not let yourself slide down the spiral. Instead of clearing your mind, you clouded it further and you are still no closer to decisions. Let's go to the meeting. Dangerous or not, you have to make the trip to the Bronx and meet with Talk. No detours. Let's just get it over with. You take some basic precaution as you enter Talk's turf. You park a few streets across from where the pub is and walk towards it while keeping an eye out for anyone suspicious. That kindred, for the most part, look no different than regular people. Makes things complicated, of course. If you're being followed or watched, it's going to be hard to tell. You reach the pub, shoot a final look around. There's nobody suspicious around as far as you can see, and open the door. The smell of cigarettes is overwhelming. The whole place has an aura about it. A constant mist hanging right under the ceiling. The lethargic fans do nothing to disperse it. The constant crack of billiard balls and clinking of glass tells you all you need to know about the clientele. Not a very vampiric place at all. You're wondering if you go to the address right. You apparently did. Mia's here. She motioned you over to one of the few tables around. Took your sweet time to get here. What? Got COVID? Never mind. Anyone follow you? Not that I know of. Fair enough. Before I introduce you, there's some outstanding business to discuss. I appreciate the help with getting that name out of Bruce. It's going to be a tough nut to crack his master. She's one of the lawmen. They will soon align with us and the camp. Anyway, this isn't the right night for a history lesson. Talk has been waiting for you. He was impressed by your work so far. Here's your chance to shine. Don't blow it. You walk towards one of the tables. A guy in a coat and a hat leans over to take his shot. The table is clean of his balls. It's way ahead of the opponent, but the 8-ball is in a tricky position. Hey, they're here. Be with you in just a moment. The hit is fast, precise, and a sense of black ball exactly where the player wanted. His opponent lets out a frustrated sigh. That's that. I believe that's $150 American, Joe. You're paying up now, or you wanna up the stakes again? The disgruntled man accepts his defeat and pays up. Then they declare he's going to grab another beer. To the victor go the spoils. Thank you kindly. He turns his full attention to you. The man's good looking if somewhat gaunt and intense. His eyes especially seems to pierce right through to your core, but not in an unpleasant way. Name is Talk. I believe you're Sarah Kimia. Sophie Langley's new plaything, is that right? Plaything? No. We're not lovers. Apologies then. Well, that's kind of the default I hear. I didn't hear about your curious partnership though. Forgive my being real with you right off the bat, but I'd like to know who it is I'm dealing with. So here's something that I have been scratching my head about. If you're with Langley and Langley's came through and through, I'm told, what is it you have come to accomplish here tonight? I'm here to learn about the Anarchs. Right? What's that? She told me to do this? I can't remember. Maybe this is the reason why. I may be a part of the camp, but I came here to learn about the movement. I met a few of you, and you made a terrible first impressions. But Mia and you seem different. And that right, it's 'cause we are. I'm not one to brag, but I gotta say, us Anarchs have a bad reputation in New York for a good reason. Start with a B and a C. Rhymes with Dross Boogeyman. But that's not the whole story, is it? Come on, come play with me. Sophie wants to meet with you. Sophie Langley wants to meet with you. Don't ask why, she didn't tell me. She just said it has something to do with gathering allies again. Boss Callahan, I'm here to arrange that meeting. The fuck? I knew nothing about this tea, they lied to me. Mia's furious. She's looking at the pool cue at you as if she was figuring out the best combination for the two. Give them a break. It's not so easy to say that kind of thing to my face and imagine. Well. Ain't that an interesting proposition? You can't be seriously thinking about meeting with Langley. She's hot like Cam. It's a trap, it must be. It's just my. He looks at you, pierces you with his unnatural keen eyes. He's about to say something when the door opens in the back of the room. Hey, Talk, you got a guest there in the back. Mia, once you be a dear, keep our new friend company. I'll see what the commotion is. Sure things. Talk tips his head to you and walks to the back, joining the man who called for him. Mia glows at you, this time waging one of the pool balls in her hand. She looks like she's in half a mind to chuck it at your face. You gotta be quite happy with yourself bluffing your way in here. It's not just Sophie I'm here. It might have started as a start from Sophie, but I'm glad I could meet you and talk. Don't hold it against me. No, I'm totally going to hold it against you in for why. You made me look like a chum in front of Talk. Yeah, I was beginning to think you might make a good addition to our little family. There's a whole lot of trust you have to regain before that happens now. Talk appears from a door in the back and calls across the room. Yo, Mia, can I grab you for a second? Sarah Kimmy, get over here too. You go to the back room. It's basically a storage area with a single wooden desk. It is pretty cramped, especially considering there's 5 other people in there with you. Talk is ushering you in and close the door behind you and Mia. 2 bully dudes are holding somebody down. A familiar voice reach your ears. Motherfuckers, you're gonna pay for this, you hear me? The boss is going to fuck you up so bad you have no idea. Have you had the doubtful pleasure of meeting Mr. Cerruti before, Sir Kimmy? Yeah, we've met yesterday. You are fucked. You're so fucked you don't even know it, you stupid piece of shit. I should have ended you yesterday. The boss told you to stay away. You should have listened. That's a story and a half, ain't it? Vince, calm down now and tell me how many of you guys are still out there on my turf, Go fuck yourself, you're done. The boss will know this stupid piece of shit flashing came here. He knows they're with Langley. You know what that means, Talk. No, I don't. What does it mean, Talk, Vince? Now the boss can wipe you out. He'll just say you're sucking Langley's tits, and all those buddies of yours, gone. You're done, Talk. Well, now, if that's the case, I guess Redding and what's if your toady ass won't make things any worse. Well, actually, here's an idea. Vince mentioned he beat you up yesterday. Did I hear that right, Sir Kimmy? You want to repay the favor? It's your turf, you deal with him. I think you should deal with him. That's a fair point of view. He takes an opal cue and breaks it over his knee. Hold him down, bros. Don't you fucking do it. Talk, don't. Talk takes a sharp piece of wood and jams it into Vince's chest. His features grow slack, his entire body inert. He doesn't even give a yelp. Take him downstairs. Let's keep Colin guessing about what happened to his favorite puppy. I'll figure out what to do with that guzzler later. The other 2 Anarchs who held Vince down before taking him outside the room. As entertaining as that was, I think Vince, in his unmatched wisdom, shared more than Colin would hope for. This changed things. Ever heard about Operation Lifestyle Sarcemia? It was a second Inquisition effort here in NYC. The single night breaks at a magnitude never seen before or since. The Ivory Tower got away with just a few lost here or there. No major players were hit. They managed to find safe spots and stay out the eye of the shitstorm. Us, though, we got hit hard. All over town, havens were rooted out. Entire coteries and safe house gone, just like that. Nobody saw it coming. I barely got out in one piece. Mia looks at him with concern and puts a hand on his arm. He shrugs it off gently but surely. Others, like my child, Bob or Mia's sire, extinguished. But you know who got out without scratch? Callahan. We thought about it for the past few years. How is it that Big B managed to excuse himself from the museum on Staten Island, where we used to meet just before Ventrue full of guys in body armor shows up? How is it that as my baby is burning up after being shot with incendiary rounds, I also see Doc Kellen running with his tail between his legs, pushing flashing like you in the path of the SI? We think the bastard knew what was coming and he set us up, not just us, some of our brothers and sisters who got hit hard, some of the lowest profiles in the city population. The moral of the story, Callahan is an opportunistic motherfucker, and if even his thick swallows suggest he's going to sell me out, then that's what he's going to do, as sure as the sunrise. He paused for a moment, and you see him reaching a decision. You said something about lately having an offer for me. It might be your fault in part that I am at this juncture, but now it's going to be a good time instead to listen to what she has to say. I don't think that's wise, T. Well, what would you have me do then? You said it yourself, it's all this is Fletching's fault. They brought this on us, so let's use them as a bargaining chip. Carlin wants them. Langley needs them. They are valuable. Me? Valuable? I'm just a pawn. No, you're wrong. I'm just a pawn. That's why Sophie sent me here. Plausible deniability and all that, unexplainable. The realization that you hit summarize the entirety of the last 2 weeks or so hits you hard, but if there was a moment for being honest with yourself, it's now. Fuck. The man puts his hand on Mia's shoulders. She calms down a bit. Well phrased, Sarah Kimmy, but then, what else is new? It's a paradox, being who we are. The hunter one night, the hunted another. Master of the night, slaves to the dawn. A duality to everything. Mia, I understand your concern, but I need you to trust me like you did before. This is my call and my responsibility. You can give me shit about it later, like I'm sure you will. Count on it. It smiles and takes on a no bullshit look and points at you. 3 conditions. First, you come pick me up personally and bring me to the meeting spot. Anything goes sideways, it's your ass. Second, Mia's coming with me. No 2 ways about it. 8 eyeballs in the meeting. The 2 of you, the 2 of us. Nobody else. And third, the meeting's public, downtown, some spot frequented by mortals. We see you take us anywhere fishy, we check out and fuck you up as a message to Langley. I count on it. Not coming to that though. You seem likable enough. The camp hasn't gotten its talent you yet. Keep it up. And maybe you'll come to the same conclusion we did in your own time. I'll repeat your conditions to Sophie. I'll make sure to repeat your condition to Sophie. You do that. Best be on your way. Ask for me here when you need me. The bartender knows how to reach me. Just ask him to put the owner on the line. Mia walks you to the front door and accompanies you to your car. Listen about what I said before. Yeah, what about it? I panicked, that's all that was. It was unfair what I said. If anything, it's my fault. I'm angry with myself and that makes me angry with you. Forget it. See ya. She starts walking back to the bar as you start the engine and head back to Sophie's apartment. Time to give Sophie the good news. She welcomes you as openly as ever. Clearly excited to see you and for what you're bringing with you. Sarah Kimmy, good evening. How is your task going? Have something for me, perhaps. It is done, but there will be trouble. I did what you asked. The meeting is set up. Excellent experience. Any problems? Callahan forbade me to meet with Top. Oscar Goons grabbed me yesterday and forced me to meet him. It was very clear that I cannot be seen talking to Top or he will have me killed. I went and did it anyway. I appreciate your dedication. I really do. I'm sorry if you got hurt. Thank you for following through. Well, let's hear it. What did Top agree to? You relate the Anarchs' latest conditions that you are to pick him and Mia up. That the meeting should only include the 4 of you and should be held in a public space. Those are all fair enough, although I do worry about that Mia character. Tell me, do you think she's trustworthy? She's fine for an Anarch. I met some Anarchs in the past few nights and she was one of the most agreeable ones. She's fine, I guess. I see, very well. As for the place, I wonder if they would agree to meeting in Hudson's Yards, the vessel. Plenty of tourists that visit that place, but if we go there after midnight, she seems to have made up her mind. Just bring them there tomorrow night. Look for me near the top level. Will they agree to meeting in the city? You think talking to me will agree to meeting in the city? It's Camarilla territory. Won't they be too careful to come in here? They did ask me to pick the spot, did they not? It's public and in the open. They should love it. Pick them up at midnight, then drive back to Midtown. That's the plan. I'll be waiting as long as it takes, within reasons. I'm counting on you. The final piece of the puzzle is about to find its way to its destination. And after that, we all get out. Just reward you, me, the Camarilla, even the Anarchs. I could kiss you. Yes, you'll like that. You desire it. You must have caught it in your expression, she smiles. I figure your speech, darling. Or at least it is tonight, but a few nights from now, who knows? I'm growing fond of you, and such that whets my appetite with these kinds of things. The sexual tension in the room becomes insufferable until it suddenly disappears. But this is another one of Sophie's tricks. Or an actual spark of arousal in both your undead bodies. You certainly felt the blood flow through you for a short moment. The woman in your groin takes you by surprise. You don't think you could do that anymore, or did you just imagine it? Use the rest of this night while Sarah keep me rest. We are but a day's sleep away from shaking this city awake. I can't do anything else. I need to rest. You wake up. This is not your haven. It's a crime space. You try to move your arms and find they are tied to your body. You can barely bend your legs. When you try to stretch your neck, you hit a cold ceiling. You can't quite believe it, but this is a coffin, or something close enough to it. It vibrates slightly, but you can't hear any sounds coming from outside. It's entirely dark. Potent, smash your way out. You focus and divert your blood to boost your physical prowess. The way you imagine you're going to Superman punch the lid off this thing. You kick it with all your strength, but only make a dent in it. Hey, it's a start. You keep kicking. With each hit, you make the dent bigger. You manage to make a small crack at the very bottom of the container. A bit of light comes in and sounds. The crackle of a radio, the hum of a car's engine, a nervous male voice. Object is breaking containment. Please advise. I respond you don't quite catch the brakes of the car. Your container being jostled by some impact. Keep kicking, keep wrestling out of your prison. The car doors opening violently, the sound of a gun cocking, a panic scream. Operation Compromise, engaging blank bodies. Charge some struggle silence. The lid comes off. What the? We have found you. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walk right into that Imperial ambush, same as and that asshole over there. Come on, get up. We gotta get going. Seeing their faces surprising even more so in these circumstances. You immediately realize that you're in danger though, and follow your companions out of the car into a street in not bronze. The van has crashed into another car, and familiar face. That of Casey's school. Jackie stumbles out the right sedan and slinks away into the darkness before you can call after him. The three of you jog away towards the line of the trees and take shelter under the branch. Just as you hear a chopper approaching, a searchlight illuminates the red van and moves towards you. Hide now. You see as Tamika literally goes underground, melting with the earth underneath her feet as if she was being swallowed by it. You look to her, but she's not there. You haven't seen any movement. That's just the tree she leaned on the scan a few seconds ago. You're left alone, and with just seconds to make you move before the spotlight finds you. Dive under a nearby bush. Seeing no better option, you just find the nearest bush and dive right under it. It's probably not the best or smartest thing to do, but you had to trust your gut. The illumination passed just an inch away from you, but it's just a pattern of light on the ground. The tree blocks a good portion of it. It doesn't draw on you. It doesn't seem like they have spotted you or any of your companions. The helicopter flies on, the searchlight frantically moving into the vicinity as your companions once again appear in your proximity. Close call. We have to get out of here before the SI puts boots on the ground. Can't you tell me what's going on? I'll fill them in while we walk. Follow me. Your life up to this point, everything you knew, it was a highly advanced VR simulation. Welcome to the real world. Your blank stare is what makes it crack. No, actually the SI, first line in this case, I think, raided your haven and took you in. They were just transporting you out of town. Kaiser told us which route they would take. How did they know where I live? Wait, how did the SI know where I live? Mess up your security next time. Keep your antivirus program up to date and avoid questionable websites. And only download software from source you can trust. That's alright. Come on, stay low. The SI might still be around. Kaiser's familiar car stops nearby, and the backseat opens. The outlaws usher you inside and join you. Being inside this mobile fortress never felt like a relief until now. Hey, Flashing, miss me? Not really, but I'm glad you're here. But I will say this, I'm glad you're here. Well, I'm not overly fond of wrecking leaks at covert SS transport, so I consider this an investment. That was a civilian transport, no convoy, nothing. I expected more resistance. What, you want more to sharpen those claws of yours on? Don't worry, you might still get it. Maybe even regret it. Takes a food as a day goes. Anyway, listen up. You are here now, only because I told your buddies that you were negative and shit. That van you win a one-way ticket to Hurtville, Pennsylvania. I broke your ass a favor, now you owe me. Big. Hope's not. What's so funny, Jester? Hurtville, Pennsylvania? What, you like it? Yeah, it's literally the funniest thing I've ever heard. They say, used it when you workshop these bits with other ancient demons. Can I get in? Everyone's a critic. Did Sophie ask you to help? Was it Sophie that asked you to help me? Huh, now that would have been rich. Sophie Lane is stooping down to ask me for help. Oh please, my adopted child is in danger. Save them, won't you, Kaiser, sir? Nah, Fletching. She didn't come calling. If she did, I would have her beg. I would have her do a lap dance. If the stuck-up bitch even knows what that is. And she wouldn't do that. You're worth less to her than her pride. I have a good idea why the SI hates you, Sarah Kimmy. Not that there's not a bunch of good reasons for it. It might have been one of these, for instance. The screens in Case's cars flickered. And each of them is now showing a short-loop clip is you getting into a fight fitting using one of your powers. You haven't exactly kept a low profile fletching. I get it, you're new to this. You don't know better, yada yada yada. The fact is, the SI has tons of this stuff. Security camera footage, YouTube videos posted by onlookers, social media posts from victims, you name it. Like I said, though, I don't think any one of these did you in slip-ups happen. The reason why I need you walking talking is to test a hypothesis of mine. For that, I need you to finish what you were tasked to do. So first things first, here. Answer your phone, the number is already chosen for you. You hear the tone, somebody picks up. Who is this? It's me, Sophie. Sarah Kimmy, are you okay? They're fine and dandy. Kaiser, what are you doing on this line? What do you think? It's my phone your protege is using, so keep it snappy. Operating a secure network and cheap. Come on, Sarah Kimmy, spit it out. Kaiser, save me from the SI. Sophie, I only got out because of him. Your companions look to one another dejectedly. SI, that's what I fear. Listen to the plan, we need to do it tonight, but if the Inquisition is involved and you broke out, they'll be looking for you, so we can't meet in public. I have a place in mind, but Kaiser, are you still listening? Would I tell you if I wasn't? Sarah Kimmy, call this number from where you have visited before last. We spoke, I'll come pick you up. She hangs up. And that's that. What is it that you have gotten yourself into? No need to answer that riddle, I think I have almost arrived at answers. Sorry to spoil the fun, but I'll answer that particular riddle momentarily. Don't worry, doll. I can throw a few other ones your way after our mutual acquaintance carries on with their night. If my intel is worth a damn, your next stop, Sarah Kimmy, is right about here. The car comes to a stop and the door opens. Outside you see the street leading to the solids and stripes. Talks, pull, pop. Well, you need me to kick you out? What about my companions? What about Tamik and Hope? What about them? They're staying right where they are, and we're going to have a little chat after we're done. I'm sure they'll find their way back to the Havens just fine. The clock is ticking. I think I know what Sophie wants to do tonight. And if I'm right, tonight's the last chance you've got. You want to say bye to your buddies before you go, that's fine with me. But that schedule of yours is pretty hectic, so you better do it now, scram. Thank your companions for the help. For their assistance. Without them, you wouldn't be here now. Kesa makes a gagging gesture and urges you to step out of the car. You turn around and make your way into the bar. The door closes behind you and Kaiser's limo starts moving again. You hope your companions won't have to pay too high of a price for helping you. The Solets and Stripes is pretty much abandoned tonight. Just a bartender and one bleary-eyed local watching an old Bogart movie on the bar screen. You ask to use the phone and call Sophie first. Yes. I'm at the bar. Good. We'll be there in 15 minutes. If Talk is not there, notify him. We need to move and fast. She hangs up. You tell the bartender to notify Talk. Just like the Anarch leader mentioned you should. The plan missed a short call. You only hear somebody picking up, but no words exchange. The owner's on his way right now. Can I get you anything while you're waiting? Do you serve the special stuff? Actually, do you serve the special stuff? The bartender raised an eyebrow. The special reserve, you mean? Sorry, I can only serve that for a narrow selection of the owner's friends. It's been a rough night. Give me a break. Listen, it's been a rough night. Give me a break, please. Just a sip. I don't know. I really shouldn't. Oh, what the hell? You really do look like you need it. He takes out a bottle from a safe behind the counter and pours a bit of brown liquid into a glass. It's whiskey. There, enjoy. Your disappointment is palpable. At least the smell is nice. Talk comes in 10 minutes late without me. He tips his hat to you, puts a hand on the bleary-eyed patron's shoulder and says something to him on his breath. They both laugh. Marty, how's the night going? Quiet, sir. Just how you like it, huh? Talk noticed the untouched glass with a bit of whiskey in that. You persuade the bartender to pour. For me, you shouldn't have. He takes the glass and drinks the liquid, moving it around in his mouth before swallowing. He looks you in the eye. Sure, I won't keep it in forever, but the night when I don't enjoy the taste of good whiskey is a night when I truly consider myself damned. Well, Sarah Kimmy, I believe you wanted me here for a good reason, Miss Hewitt. You're about to tell me what brought you here when the door to the bar opened and Sophie walks in, all splendor and charisma. The patrons are not glued to her, so are the bartenders. Talk isn't happy with the sight. Well, this is what we agree on. Sarah Kimmy, you care to explain? We had to improvise. Things got complicated. We had to improvise. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I believe Sarah Kimmy already told you why I'm here. Not in any detail, and the circumstance of our meeting was supposed to be different. So, Miss Lam, tell me why I shouldn't ask you to let me kick out your project while I'm at it. You won't like what I have to say. Yo, I heard that line 100 times, but 99 of those end with someone getting hurt. That's not something I'm in the mood for tonight. We're wasting time. There's a unique opportunity we should just take advantage of. And we only have an hour or so to discuss it before it will be time to act. My driver is waiting outside. Wait a goddamn minute. First of all, I'm not going anywhere without Mia. That was the deal. Second, it's Sarah Kimmy who was supposed to do the driving, not your servant. Both served me, so really it's of little indifference. The circumstance changed, and we had to adapt. Don't be stubborn. Foolishness does not suit you. I have a secure spot in mind where we can talk. I stop you right there. Talk is a thing, but he's keeping a lid on his anger. His voice barely changed. My conditions were clear. The way here, you want to break each one of them. I see no reason at all to agree to any of this. I believe I'll be staying put tonight. You have a place to be, yes? Talk you're throwing away. The only chance you have of challenging talent. Don't be a fool. The lid comes off. Call me a fool one more time, woman. That's not the only thing I'm going to be throwing. You're both acting like children. You need to put your difference aside and see others' point of view. Both Sophie and Talks glare at you. No powers. Just their personal enough to make you feel like you prefer to be anywhere else but here. Who the fuck do you think you are? There's only one child here, Sarah Kimmy. You're their patron. Lang, what does that tell us? What are you implying, you insolent? Shot bursts through her front windows and the flashbang goes off in the room, changing the bar into a space of white line ringing noise. You feel somebody tugging on your back and a crony behind the bar. More shots ring out, bottles breaking, the TV shattering into pieces, the wooden bar splintering. Outside comes back, but you think you've gone dead because suddenly the room's silent. You see Talk beside you and Marty, the bartender, bleeding out on the floor. You look over the bar. Sophie's standing there, her dress partially tattered, a visible hole in her leg. She's like the heart of a supernova. entrancing, unavoidable, beautiful, and terrifying. In front of her, 8 operatives looking like a private military force just standing, paralyzed by Sophie's magnificence. Talk, you still there? Yeah. Would you kind of show your guests some hospitality? Sure thing. The Anarchs is gone. It's a blink of an eye that he reappears next to one of the soldiers. The armor-class operative's head disappears in a puff of blood and bone. The same thing happens to the second. The third, you hear the radios go off on the other soldiers' shoulders. A panic voice pleading them to wake up. The fourth had passed the fifth. They finally realize what's happening, but it's too late. The sixth man is beheaded by what you now see. It's just Talk's bare-fisted punch. Talk stops by the seventh man, rips something off his neck and bites down. So he walks to the last man and has him near in front of her before biting as well. On your right, a man in full-body armor emerged from the back door, raising his assault rifle. What the fuck? Potent, break the soldier's neck. Not thinking twice, you stand up, grab the soldier's head in your hands. Before he can react, you twist. The sickening sound, breaking bone is followed by a crumpling of his slim body. Mr. Talks holding a combat knife in his hand, ready to throw. He catches your eyes. Beat me to it. Langley. Sophie wipes him out of blood and looks at him. That meeting still an item? Yes. I'll take it. Splendid. Talk walks behind the bar and checks on the bartender. You see the Anarch open his own wrist and feed blood to the wounded man. Drink up, Marty. It'll make you feel better. Get the hell out of here. Away from here. She's coming and she'll know what to do. Talk. Yeah, go and take the back door, Sarah community. Come on. You sling back into an alley behind the door, leaving 10 bodies and one grievously wounded bull behind. Nobody stops you from circling around the block, finding your way to Sophie's car. Marguerite drives away, casually as if this was just another late-night drive, and not the crowning of a desperate, complicated evening. God, that was so loud. Sophie brings you all to a luxurious apartment in Manhattan's Upper West Side. The way she explains it, the vampire who owned it left the city a few years ago, and gave a whisper kiss to a handful of trusted compatriots. It has been used sporadically since. Fancy? You like it? It always felt too modern for my taste, but what's important is that it's secure. As long as nobody followed your car here, on the fletching, all the fletching. Trouble for this one whenever they go. Even if that's the case, we'll have very little time to conduct our business here anyway. And we'll be leaving soon, I hope, so let's begin. Stay silent. You look to Sophie, excited. Finally, you will learn what it is you've been walking towards for more than a week, and what it is that Kaiser wanted you to participate in. I have it on good authority that Boss Callahan is bloodhound to Prince Panhard. Talk sucks air in loudly. That's an accusation and a half there, Langley. Got proof? No, but we're just a boat ride away from getting it. What is that supposed to mean? Sarah Kimi, the address that I procured from Kaiser was the meeting spot for Panhard's and the Baron's regular sharing of blood, and the other bodily fluids if the rumors are true. What Kaiser knew about this? Is there anything that insufferable climate this kid doesn't know? This city he knows things, but only share them if you pay. Neither the prince nor Callahan can touch him. He's too useful. Kaiser saving me was in his interest. That he wanted me to make this meeting happen. That can't be good, right? That is an interesting point. I think Kaiser might be as interested in shaking up the status quo as we are. A chaotic landscape makes for a great market for him, unlike a static one. I don't like playing things into that group's hands, but at least now I know what I'm doing it. Whatever you know and all that. What was the address he gave you? They meet regularly at Ellis Island. In fact, their next scheduled meeting starts in just around half an hour. Ah, damn. I'm guessing you want to crush that meeting. Why? So you can see the proof for yourself. So that I can make sure too. And so that I have an extra pair of eyes for Panhard to consider when I present to her my ultimatum. The prince must abandon her seat and leave New York City. She can go wherever she pleases, but if she stays, the entire court will know, and the next prince might not look favorably on her past. Dealing with Anarchs, especially so closely, is a punishable offense in the Camarilla. I'm sure you have heard. So I did. Tox stroked his beard and looked intently at Sophie. What exactly are you trying to accomplish here? You remove Panhard and even say, I remove Callahan, then what? Talk. Did you ever know why Callahan is keeping you in check? Because I wonder why. The prince condemns Anarchs during her visits in Elysium, but doesn't allow the Avatar to challenge you. She, or they have engineered this status quo not for the good of their sex, but for private gain. They keep us all in line because it lets them hold on to power that much longer. And your goal is what? Make this cold turn hard, not a great plan. You chemists will get your butts kicked out of NYC in no time. If you are not managed to organize, which I doubt you will. At any rate, it's a risk I'm willing to take. I don't stand alone in this. This entire operation has been years in the making. I am offering you a chance to square things with Callahan. Talk and level the playing field. We get rid of these suits. We start from equal footing for the next stage of this dance, Masquerade. Wait, aren't you copying the same status quo? Wait, isn't this copying the same status quo you're hoping to break? Just another Camarilla and Anarch agreement to replace the one in place? Well, for one, I don't expect to slip with talk to seal the deal. Fair enough. Also, if I understand your intention, this is just an alliance of convenience. A ceasefire for a common benefit, not a lasting peace treaty. Did I get that right? Exactly. So you see, Sir Kimi, it's nothing like the current arrangement. It's quite the opposite, wiping the slate clean. You know, all those years spent in Callahan's shadows and taking part in all the kindred deck measuring contests should make me expect a ruse. Just a plot to kill me in some out-of-the-way place. That's our inherent paranoia talking though. My gut tells me it's time to get this show started. I do hope you have a boat nearby, Lincoln. Somebody smiles mischievously. Of course I do. It's waiting for us by the pier. Lead the way then, moonlight's morning. The three of you leave the apartment and walk towards the pier. Nobody seems to be following you. You get on a small patrol boat and double time it through the Hudson's cold dark waters. Out of all the places in NYC where the Prince and the Baron could be meeting is Ellis Island. A landmark with a dark past, a museum on one hand, a dilapidating piece of history on the other. You leave the boat and make your way to the southern part of the island, paying no heed to the renovated tourist attractions on the northern side. You expected some resistance, a night guard, a helicopter flying overhead. On NYPD patrol boat, nothing. The island seems completely deserted. It's clear this sad Sophie is on edge. She's moving as quietly and subtly as ever. But you can see she's eager to reach the particular house her intel pointed out. Todd is following suit, grimly determined, flashing his piercing gaze all around, still clearly uncertain that this isn't some kind of scheme. Finally, you see a light coming from a window in one of the buildings on the edge of the island. The three of you slowly creep near the building and take a look inside the window. There it is. Callahan, kneeling in front of the prince, sucking on Penhas's wrist, both fully cloaked, a small blessing. Talk makes his move and before Sophie can stop him, he busts through the building's doors. It happens very quickly. Tox grabs Callahan by the shoulders and throws him through the still open door. Callahan hits the ground hard. Talk appears on top of him and starts punching. You fucker, you piece of shit! Stop! The principal takes over just long enough to have Talk relent, which the Baron used to the fullest, kicking Talk off and taking advantage of the situation by trying to bite in. Prince, call up your lapdog. Langley, what is the meaning of this? The two Anarchs break apart, both wounded, but none of them quite done yet. They look at one another with poor hatred. Kill the bitch, Helene, but leave the flesh into me. Right after I deal with this shit stain, I'm gonna... A shrill, unpleasant laughter fills the air. You know who it belongs to. So entertaining. Truly, it feels almost a shame to break up this spectacle, but alas. Thomas, who the fuck is this joker? Ah yes, I don't think we met. Though I did hear a lot about you, Mr. Talk. My name is Thomas Aturu, and I... Callahan used this moment of uncertainty to strike. He's still too slow for Talk, who throws the boss onto the lawn, and the two exchange blows again. Helen. If you would be so kind and ask your friend to not hurt our guest too much. Callahan, don't kill him. This time Callahan comes on top and grabs Talk in an iron hold. The companion struggles but can't quite break away. I will not be denied, Helen, not this time. You will do as I command. And she will do as I command her. Douglas, old boy. Oh my god, this is the guy behind everything, huh? What? Like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. I feel like I need to break up this little spectacle. It's been going on for much too long. You think you're so smart, Langley. You and your clique figure out that there's something fishy going on your own, but you're always working with just a piece of the puzzle. Wasn't she Sarah Kimi? Sophie looks at you, shocked and disappointed. Wait, what are you talking about, Arturo? What am I talking about, you ask, you flashing? You don't know, how could you? Only I knew. And your side, of course. They're the one who agreed to embracing you after some negotiations. You hear a scream and a curse. It's Callahan, whose arms has been nearly ripped off his body. Talk rushes out of the Baron's grasp but doesn't continue the attack. Instead, he sets the edge of the water in the blink of an eye and disappears to the Hudson. The only trace left of him is his fedora hat. Another actor going off script at the very end, huh? No matter, let him bring us some amusement now that the production is almost wrapped up. He'll rush his allies, he'll tell everyone of this. Helen, even if we naively assume his rights are numbered now that he's in the SI size, this show must go on one way or another. Want her to encourage leaks and speculation. Sophie looks at you. How could you, Sir Clemens? I saved you. Arturo chuckles to himself. Langley. What happened to your self-esteem? You can't really think a simple neonate has outplayed you. Or maybe this oblivious act is your way of groveling for mercy? Thomas, what? You thought that being an expert chess player would always be enough. You never realized that people at the top simply flip the chessboard over and punch you in the face whenever they don't like how the game is going. He motions to the remaining kindred. But the thing is, you weren't even adept at playing the game, you know. Sarah Kimi, just another pawn placed on the board by my associate. You thought they were your piece since you took them in, but who gave you that idea? You returned to the night when you were judged by Prince Panhead, the woman in red, Sophie. Somebody speaking to her, a man in glass, the man standing before you now. This is cruel. We know what's going to happen if only somebody spoke up for the poor child. They could be a useful tool for the Camarilla. Terror creeps onto Sophie's face. Of course, those are not the words you heard, were they? No, you were already grasping for some opportunity to further your scheme. I put the bait out, and you took it, hook, line, and sinker. After that, it was a matter of time before you start using him as your errand boy. Nobody is quite as easy to track and monitor as a naive fledgling who is just learning the ropes. What is it that you want, Thomas? What do I want? Oh boy, the answer is so simple but so hard to put into words. Unstable stability. Cutting-edge tales of thrills and intrigue that push it to the limit, and then return you to the try and test status quo gently, infallibly. A system full of distracting moving parts which simulate conflict so convincingly that the user never feel a need to direct their energy towards upsetting the system. Achieving the eternal through the disposable. Building a city that's like a ship of Theseus, constantly changing its parts, yet always maintaining the same purpose, serving the same goal at all times. A large-scale infrastructure that has something like an exhaust system for the spirit, something that disperses the toxicity around instead of concentrating it in a single place. None of what you're saying makes the slightest bit of sense. Arturo is momentarily stopped in his tracks. He stares into the ceiling for a few seconds before a sad grin appears on his face. Spoken like someone who has never really had what it takes to make it in the big leagues. With a theatrical snap of his fingers, he gives his last sentence a sense of finality. Something has changed in the air. You could swear you saw a shadow move behind Sophie. Goodbye, Sophie. A person appears behind Sophie. You can't believe your eyes. It's Adelaide Davis, holding garden shears in her hands. Celerity pushed Sophie out of the way. You take up and rush towards Sophie. You only make a few steps before a shape blinks right next to you and pushes you away, Arturo. Well, she's gone now, huh? You hear the shears click. Sophie's red hair conceals her face. As her head falls, Separate from the shoulders. Silence. Artura's unpleasant laughter erupts right next to you. Oh, Sarah Kimmy. Your career is moving at a breakneck pace, moving up and up and up. Let me congratulate you on your promotion. You killed her! Did I? Adelaide, jealous as ever, has taken a step at the heart of the matter. My hands, my tongue, and my conscience are clean. Helen, feel free to leave us and take the Baron with you. Thomas, I don't think you should. Shush, you're just being jealous. Adeline, escort the prince and dear old Douglas, please. Sure thing, darling. You're left alone next to Sophie's body. You try not to look, but it's hard to ignore her lithe frame decomposing in front of your eyes. Congratulations. You have won this little game, set out on a suicide mission, and successfully brought down the power-hungry wannabe tyrant. Even if it probably wasn't the way you have imagined it. Her red dress is like a cloth thrown over a mummified corpse. Now you're free to enjoy paradise again, life after death, immortality, eternal youth. What they don't tell you is, of course, living in paradise is inherently sinful when not everyone can partake. But you have time to learn how to live a saint, don't you? He takes a melancholy look at the city and skyline surrounding him, the Statue of Liberty and the lights of Manhattan shimmering in the distance. You know, New York taught me to believe in fate. My own life began right here, and it began with utter despair. My first instinct was to drown myself in books, and keep reading and reading until literature gave me the piece of wisdom I needed to go on. Personally, I find reading a silly hobby in retrospect. I always had this minuscule hope that the next sentence I would read would finally bring me salvation, but it never did. It only gave me fuel for this elevate, righteous, intellectual suffering. But the more I read, the easier it was for me to boil every paragraph down to a power relationship, the characters' influence over each other, the writer trying to impress the reader, etc. The strings everyone pulls start to look like strands that weave into the fabric of fate, and once I saw it building, I got teary-eyed. My architect instinct kicked into overdrive. I didn't have to submit to fate. All I had to do was cooperate with it and wait for my time to shine. Give it my input whenever needed until it trusted me to do more. Thomas steps over what's left of Sophie, wiping his glass with an elegant plot from his pocket. And it did. Fate let me look after this city. With my architect's tools, I started quietly shaping the streets and corridors, while Kaiser and his ilk shaped the information flow. And among many tools this process gave me, one of them was a way to reliably come up with useful agents like you. The methods I used were crude at times, but the route was there. All you had to do was follow it. Some people write rulebook passage, the others plan city arteries. In the end, the effect is the same. Someone always follows. He puts on the glass and gives you a long, hard look. You know, I have grown fond of you. You did so well. Even when that idiot Callahan tipped the Inquisition off, you still got out. I like that kind of resourcefulness. I could use that kind of resourcefulness. He uncovered his wrist. So take my blood. Just enough so we can start up on the right foot as a sign of good faith. A sign that you are ready to play in the big leagues, ready to behold the sights I prepare for you. What do you say, Sarah Kimmy?